Oh my God, everything's crashing. Bitcoin is down. All coins are down, guys. Everyone stop panicking. There is so much bullish news going around. We're going to share with you today on the live show. Who's buying? Who's selling? What is happening? Why Goldman Sachs is talking about, hey, we want to get into Bitcoin if the regulators allow us. What does that mean? We're also going to talk about some nation state adoption. A superpower is looking to adopt the Bitcoin strategy. What country is it? What does that mean? We also have the Magic Eden token airdrop that went live. We'll talk about that, what happened there. Also, what is one sector that many believe that is going to make people a lot of money? And we have that alpha for you as well. We have that and much, much more. So much news to cover today on this episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertaining content. I went through the gutter again.
Here we go.
I went through the gutter being the other crypto YouTube channels. They all suck.
They don't all suck.
They all suck.
There are some good ones.
Few and far between. I did find one good one. It was the homepage for our own channel. How you doing? So $95,000 Bitcoin.
Why do I feel like we just keep getting closer
What's that?
in distance? Next thing you know, we're going to be sitting on top of each other.
Altcoins are also down 20+% for the majority of our favorite projects, which means, well, are you scared? Are you fearful? I hope not, because this is an obvious buying opportunity. Hello. You know, we talk about the fact of like Cardano's a good example. Where is Cardano's price going to be this bull market? You're thinking north of $5, even in a conservative perspective. $3 Cardano, $2 Cardano if you're like super bearish next year.
So
it's under $1. It means you could damn near 95% certainty here from me at least. You're gonna double your money in probably 6 months on anything that you invest in on Cardano. One example of many. Also, we got Stellar Lumen, significant pullback. Caspa still undervalued. ICP's on discount. And, you know, we ask ourselves this, you know, viewership turns down on YouTube channels, hours across the board, when the markets kind of sell off. I would encourage you to do the opposite, because why the hell are you trying to figure out what to buy when everything's up 30, 40, 50, 2x, you know, 30, 40, 50%, 2x, 3x, 5x? Like, it's not the time. You know, you should have been buying Stellar Lumens at under 10 cents, not at 50 cents. But yet everybody wants to tune in and catch all the Stellar Lumen news at 50 cents after 5x. This right now we're in the same damn predicament. You want to make money? This is the time, right? These pullbacks.
I've never understood that. I never understood why when shit's going down, everyone tunes out. Like for me, when everything's going down, that's when I really I kick in a high gear, right? I'm like, all right, what's going on? Are there any opportunities? What's down? I look at charts. That's the time to make money.
I'm not buying when I see everything like 3x. Like, I didn't buy a single Cardano in between 45 cents and $1. I didn't buy a single one. I could have bought it at $1.25.
You didn't?
I did not buy it at $1.25. Okay. But hey, it's under $1 now. So now is a great opportunity to say, hey, you know what? This is a pullback. No, I'll probably wait till the end of the week, because I'm not sure how much the drawdown is. So I'll probably see, hey, you know, is this 95? Is this where we're going to hang out? I got a suspicion that we might hang out at between 92 and 96,000, maybe for the week, maybe a little longer. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. We're in holiday season, right? Everyone's traveling.
People are broke nowadays. You know, we got to buy them Christmas gifts.
Unless you're in New York, I'll talk about what I mean by there. But this is typically low volatility, right? Not a lot of trading happens, not a lot of buying, potentially some selling. But we know the holiday season, Q4, people are kind of taking the rest of the year off. They're looking forward to the new year and their new and and their New Year's resolutions, and I'm going to start investing January 1st. All right, January 1st, I'm going to start putting $100 into crypto every week for 52 weeks and see what. So that is kind of the time we're in. But again, if you felt like, how many times have we sat here? Hi, Robin. How many times have we sat here and said, I don't have enough. I've said it. He said it, right? Everyone has said it. I wish I had more when a token starts pumping. Well, guess what? These are the times where you fulfill your wishes, is you get more. You feel like you didn't have more XLM? Here's your chance. You feel like you didn't have enough Cardano? Here's your chance. You feel like you missed out on Bitcoin when it hit to 104,000. You're like, all right, this thing's going to $250,000. Damn it, I wish I would have bought it 90K. Here is your chance. And so just keep that in mind. I want to start with a few posts here. We also have Magic Internet Money joining us today. Going to break down the charts and figure out where will Bitcoin bottom. Love when Magic jumps on the charts. But let's start here. Moments like this is very important, guys. And for the love of God, go follow this handle. I think I share more posts from this person than anyone on X. Moments like this separate the emotional traders from the disciplined investors. This correction is a test of resilience, and if you play it right, you'll be positioned to ride the next wave. This is how the 1% operates, buying fear while the rest of the market hesitates. I have been a victim of this, where in the past, you're so bullish on something, the price declines 25, 30%, and all of a sudden, all logic goes out the window. You all of a sudden like, oh my God, what did I do? Why did I invest in it? Let me sell it off. And you sell it, and then what happens? Price rebounds, and it makes new highs. Be disciplined. Figure out why you put money in X project. When the price is down 20%, go back to your thesis and say, has that changed? If it has not changed, then either buy more or don't do anything. Now, if something fundamentally changes, then sure, you can readjust, maybe lower your percentage allocation, whatever the case may be. But the last thing you want to do is, when you're in an emotional state of mind, when you're riding the highs and the lows of the markets, is to make decisions when you're riding the highs and the lows of the markets. That is the best advice I can give you, right? They always say in business and anything, you never make a decision, an important decision, when you're either really happy or really upset or really scared. So anything you want to add to this, Rob? I mean, pretty straightforward. Just telling people, hey, don't get emotional, man. Stay disciplined.
But I don't know what to do. The market makes me nervous.
Oh my God, it's gonna be okay. It's pretty straightforward. We talk about this all the time. Did you see how much money was liquidated from the markets?
The 1 point,
almost $2 billion.
1.7. Yeah.
1.7. And this is why you have wild swings. It's because our markets are very leveraged. And we also have some people that are paper bitch hands, but we're not going to talk about them. In the past 24 hours, over 500,000 traders were liquidated for over $1.47 billion, I believe. So this was posted yesterday at 1:20 p.m. I believe that number has gone up, as Rob mentioned, to $1.7 billion. And so, we do a lot of trading on this channel. We post our trades. Actually, I did a Cardano video today where I put in a live trade on ADA, and I said, look, it's super volatile, and even the best traders like Forrest, like Magic, will tell you, be careful of using leverage. Now, I, by nature, am a very high risk taker. I take a lot of risk. And so I'll add some leverage, but I'll reap the consequences if they so happen. And so instead of using 8 to 12x leverage, or some of you degens are using 15 to 20x leverage, maybe do 2 to 3x leverage or 3-4x leverage. You can still make some money, especially if you're getting as close to the bottom as possible. And you do that by using charts and indicators and watching channels like ours and following with people like Magic, like Forrest, like ALGO Crypto. A lot of the people that trade for a living, this is what they do. All they do is stare at the charts. And so there's ways to make money, whether the price is going up or down. That is the beauty of a free market. Also want to share this here. Buy the dip and don't over leverage. Oh, look at that. Right on cue here. Bitcoin will reach $275,000 based on this cup and handle pattern. Now, Rob, I believe, this is on the 1 week time frame. So very, very macro. And that measured move, the depth of our cup brings us to $275,000. Any thoughts here or insight here on this here, Rob?
I think the big breakout is going to come when Donald Trump gets in office. And I know we're looking at
Why do you say that?
Well, all the obvious factors. The US is going to be a hodler and also a net buyer of Bitcoin. And so part of me thinks that we'll have some price accumulation. I think that people are going to anticipate that Donald Trump's going to come in office. It's going to be bullish for Bitcoin. So I think that people are going to front run it the same way that Donald Trump got elected, right? And it's no surprise. Donald Trump got elected and we moved out of that godforsaken
60K channel?
60K channel. And then we shot right up to essentially in the course of about a month, not even, we moved up into the $100,000 Bitcoin. And so is it no surprise that it literally came or broke out right after Donald Trump got elected? So I think the same thing is going to happen when he takes office, right? When he gets sworn in. And prior to him getting sworn in, I think that the prices are going to rally in anticipation for progressive and forward-thinking crypto regulation. And I mean, that's all I got, man. I mean, it's just that we've talked about it ad nauseum. Donald Trump, progressive U.S., we're going to be the leader.
You know, you mentioned the Don. Trump wants Bitcoin to hit 150,000. He wants it. He wants it. He's so funny, man. It's like... Axios reported that Trump is, quote, going to be very focused on the price of Bitcoin. What does that even mean? He's going to be like checking CoinMarketCap every day at the White House.
You know, his son was spoken out.
Yeah, I got the clip I'm going to show.
Yeah.
I'm going to show that clip, and then we're going to bring Magic on the show. So adding to the media sources outlet source that said that cryptocurrency is, quote, another stock market for the politician. Rob mentioned Eric Trump. This was him speaking at the Bitcoin MINA conference in Abu Dhabi.
I can tell you a lot of eyes were opened when Bitcoin hit 100,000. And I can tell you a hell of a lot more eyes are going to be opened when Bitcoin hits 1 million. And I'm confident it's going to hit 1 million. I think we're all confident in this room that it's going to hit 1 million.
I mean, I got 4 eyes, and I can see that, man. And so you got just put this into perspective, just really quick, right? It was just 2 years ago where every single person was shitting on our industry after FTX went down. It's a scam. It doesn't do anything. It's all speculation. It's gambling. You're going to lose your money. What are you doing? You're dumb. You're stupid. And you have the freaking president and his son on stage at Bitcoin conferences talking about $150,000 Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin. The most powerful man in the world and his family is sitting there and telling the world, we believe Bitcoin is going to get to $1 million. Think about that. In 2 short years, what is the next 2 years going to look like? We're excited.
And you got the power of the executive order, right? Power executive order is you can do a lot. You can do a lot for the crypto industries, right? And you know, the same way that we saw how much the SEC could stifle crypto and regulation and suppress price of XRP, for an example, for years. I mean, think about the polar opposite. Think about what progressive regulation, what a progressive administration, and not to mention it's also top-down effect. So you have cabinet members changing, you have leaders in different departments coming on board, and so we're going to have a new Treasury Secretary, we're going to have a new chairman of the SEC. Maybe we see a new Fed chair.
New Commerce Secretary.
Yeah.
And guess what? What do they all have in common, Robin?
They, currently the elected officials all are progressive and forward thinking on crypto.
Yeah.
And so basically, you know, when we talk about, you know, Trump coming in office, it's not so much the pen of Donald Trump signing executive orders, but it's also the top down effect with all of the other cabinet members and people in position. I mean, who has he been most famously, you know, aligned with during his campaign? It was RFK, who says he has majority of his wealth in Bitcoin. who has spoken at multiple Bitcoin conferences.
I mean, his freaking vice president has a damn $250,000 to $500,000 Bitcoin allocation.
And then you got Vivek, also extremely bullish on crypto, spoken at multiple crypto conferences, not just Bitcoin conference. I'm talking about like Consensus, and then others internationally. And then you also, on top of that, he works with David Bailey, which is the founder of Bitcoin Magazine, and organizes the Bitcoin conventions. And so the list goes on and on. And then you also got Elon Musk. We know that Elon Musk is also forward thinking on
Tesla
crypto.
still holds Bitcoin.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it's going to be glorious.
It is. It's going to be great. We have Tuesdays, one of my favorite days. Why? It's because we have our friend, my friend, Magic's your friend, right? I mean, that was such a bad question. I'm sorry. Yeah. We have Magic Internet Money joining us. Magic, thank you so much, man. Are you panic selling your bags of Bitcoin? What's going on here, man? Are you freaking out?
I panic sold them at the top. No, I'm kidding. Did not sell. I did take some profits into that region, but we've been talking about things are coming into resistance and to kind of expect a pullback, even Bitcoin macro area. So to me, this is kind of like you said, there could be some opportunities. The real question is how deep can it go? That's it. And
we'll get into that chart here in a second. But Magic, can you maybe talk about, you said you kind of expected this, right? But we had almost $2 billion in liquidations. Any insight you can give there, or maybe some advice or tips for maybe the new people watching?
Yeah, I don't particularly trade off liquidations, but they are good to work off of. A lot of times when you see big liquidations on like a move down like that, it can signify a bottom. So it doesn't have to be the exact bottom. That's really what I want to stress to people, is that if you start seeing signs of reversal and you're coming into support and you've seen these big liquidations, there can still be runs below that low. Because people will jump into moves very early. There are people that get in. And so a lot of times those guys can be seen on a footprint chart, depending on the asset. And you can go in and actually see that they're getting run out of the market because they were early. It happens all the time with early shorts. We spoke about it on Bitcoin. Even though November 18th was that week for me, we missed 100K. So all these people that are FOMOing in shorts thinking that, Bitcoin's topped out, it's going to run, it's going to front run 100K. You could look at the high and pretty much tell that you were going to see that high get taken more than likely at some point. And so those early shorters get knocked out. Were they wrong or incorrect about their position? No, they were absolutely correct. So stay away from high leverage. Make sure you know what you're doing position size wise if you're trading. And if you're investing, don't get scared if you get in early and it takes a dip below there. Have an invalidation where things have materially changed, excuse me. And we'll talk about some of that on some of the charts today.
Awesome. With that being said, Magic, can we jump into, so here's what we're going to do with Magic today. We're going to dive in to the Bitcoin chart. We're going to look at a Chainlink chart. This was requested by someone in the comments from our Chainlink video that said, hey, can you have Magic do TA on Chainlink? I said, absolutely. So we'll do that. Also, we're going to look at XLM, Stellar Lumens, but I want to start with Bitcoin first, Magic. For the people wondering, where are the strongest bids coming in, or where can we find a potential local bottom for Bitcoin? Are we there? Do we still have some downside? What are some of the best and worst case scenarios for price action on the Bitcoin chart?
Sure. Yeah. Bitcoin, pretty simple. I'm going to get rid of some of the stuff on the chart for just a second here. You can see that you are at a local gold pocket. And first and foremost, that's something you guys hear me talk about all the time on this channel. And it's probably never going to stop. You've got just a standard low to your high 618 here, and you've actually bounced to the local 618 above you, which happens quite a bit. So you are at support. There is more there than just that local gold pocket. We zoom out a little bit. If you guys recall, we made levels that expire on 12/31, but those levels are still just absolutely crushing. It's this white line here. This is the 11th standard deviation going into 2024. So this has been a really good support and resistance for intraday trades, but also daily trades. So you get a gold pocket lined up with it, a nice bounce out of there. If this level is lost, I've got a box here at this November NPOC, which was tagged last week. You still would have to look for your monthly pivot, which statistically speaking, these do hit at the mid to low 70 percentile range. And again, you got to think this is for the entire month of December. So there's still 21 days. A lot can happen. So if price does dip below 95, I am looking down into this zone. I would just shift this box a little bit and just say, I think realistically, this would probably be where I start getting interested in price again. And it's just beneath this low, offers up a nice trade. And you can see if you just look a little bit to the left, that this is also going to be your daily settle up, like where structure is really starting to take a foothold on a range. And this is how you end up with things like triangles, or what happened when we broke out initially in 2020. It's a really good example, actually. I remember trading this and just thinking people were just absolutely losing their minds after the large consolidation post-halving, which we just had an even bigger one, massive run up, and then it dumps all the way back down to 9,800, basically back testing the structure. Now, I'm not expecting that level of a pullback, but even a pullback to that 87K range would really freak people out. But in reality, it could just be setting in a larger structure. And I think that's a likely scenario right now. I don't think the pullback is necessarily done just yet. I would change my mind, probably back above about 100,000. This little zone here between 99,493 and 12,000, or not 12,000, 101,398. That's kind of the area that I'd be most interested in. That is your +4 deviation in terms of halving levels. So those are good for the next 4 years, ideally. And some back testing has said that they will be good. And then you've got your yearly deviation, which will expire here in a few weeks. But for now, this is locally a bounce territory. So you're looking to see if this does come back down here. Does it end up forming a bigger structure, whether it's some kind of a triangle or falling wedge, whatever, flag? That's how those develop. And it's to be expected because you do need a cooling off period, even though you've had a really big consolidation and breakout. I mean, this thing has gone from, you think that this is where the candle started on the true momentum breakout is right here. The open on that is $69,000. And this thing has just been basically foot to the pedal all the way up to 100, so that's quite a move. So a pullback in consolidation is not the end of the world. Just understand that as long as you're holding, I'm moving the bar up a little bit. As long as we're holding on to this like 87K range, I'm really not all that concerned. And the reason I bring up holding that level is if you start confirming a weekly top, I presented this idea to you guys a while back that this would be the zone I'd be looking for a weekly top in terms of divergence that has actually caused the last few tops in terms of cycles. And you would have that in place, but you don't until you confirm a high. So until the market structure is confirmed change, you're front running, you're leading the divergence that could be there. So you don't want to fall into that trap, especially when you're coming into support, but just understand the ramifications where, right and wrong, like we talked about. Where's my invalidation in terms of my idea? Where am I wrong? For me, I really start to question my idea that the bull market continues too much further if we start giving this level up, especially on weekly closures.
Awesome. Magic, can you, before we move on from Bitcoin, can you just maybe explain to the new people or people that might not understand why flushes like this are important and why they're healthy for the overall long-term trend of Bitcoin?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're getting fresh positions and leverage out of the market because you have to think that market makers are trying to make both sides in this. So they do have to force, positions out of the market in order to create fresh and new ones. And a lot of times when you see this, it's because you do get a lot of emotion into the market and you get a lot of greed, but also fear. So you got people that are actively trying to short with high leverage, wanting to be smart. And you got people that are actively trying to long with high leverage that want to be smart. So you're going to run into cases where you have both shorts and longs getting wrecked. It's how ranges are made. Open interest will build up in both those areas. Then you've got a range of open interest above and below. And eventually, over time, positions just, they add up until one side wins. And then there's nobody to really stop you from moving the price. And that's what happens like here, a really big consolidation. Once it breaks out, there's nothing here. There's no, well, one, there's no historical price action, but two, the people that were selling have been exhausted. So you now have a market move and those participants can actually, enjoy, I guess, their win in that case. But everyone else is going to get turned into fuel because now that you're having these positions build up, think of it this way. If this thing ranges, like, let's say it ranges for like a month or two, which is a fairly large consolidation for even Bitcoin, whichever way it breaks, the people that are incorrect are going to be turned into further fuel. And so these liquidations where they bring in new buyers and bring in new sellers, those guys will eventually, circle of life, Lion King it, and become fuel for the opposite side.
You leave Lion King out of this, Magic.
But it's true, though. I mean, you got to think, like, let's say shorts are in control right now, and eventually they get stopped out. Well, they're going to be forced to buy those positions back, whether it's through liquidation or stop losses, which only pushes the price higher. Is it artificial volume at that point? Not necessarily. So it's not like strong volume where it looks like OI is coming off, but it still moves the needle. So hopefully that makes sense. It's a really, that's kind of a complicated question that I'm trying to answer in like 2 minutes. So are we there? Did I lose everybody? I feel like I lost you guys.
Hey, can you hear me, Magic?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can we take a look at the chain link chart?
Yeah. Link. So this is one we've actually been talking about a little bit in the group, getting requests from, because I hold Link. It's no secret. And Link's got a couple interesting things to consider. Now, you'll notice I have very few things on this chart, in my opinion. I know this is showing you every single monthly profile here, but you have one NPOC down here, and it does come in at a really nice place where you're looking at your weekly 21 EMA. So in the instance that this blue box, which we'll talk about that importance in a second, is lost, I am looking back down in like that almost $14 range. You've just got some really important moving averages there. You've got a nice naked point of control. And then I haven't even been keeping up with the monthly pivots in this region. Yeah, so you'd be looking between 1463 and 1618 potentially if you start giving up this like $20 level. We'll call it $20. So that to me would be the area I'd be most interested in if I was looking for a significant pullback. And anything below that, I do actually kind of get a little bit concerned, because then I'm looking towards potentially $10 again, and we have to start asking questions about what we think we know about this chart. Now, in terms of the level we're at for support, it's a pretty important level. You can see these future pivots here. So this is going to be your quarterly for the next quarter. So 3 months of price action. It closes in 21 days, just like the yearly here. So these are going to be the averages of price if the quarter closed today and the year closed. So you generally want to trend above these, and you want to see these be support and resistance, even if we are front running their generation just a little bit. We're just trying to cheat a little bit and look ahead. So this area is important for that reason, but it's also important if you just zoom out, monthly time frame. Yeah, right here, the last setup that we had, looks like we were doing some fib work on this one at some point. The last setup we had monthly and quarterly wise is coming in here, but this is also going to be a great place to look historically. And if you go out to the yearly chart, which we did a lot with XLM actually, you can see that we have not closed a yearly candle above this, this dark blue box here. This is coming back from the 2020 high. So you have not successfully closed above this in 1, 2, 3, 4 years in terms of a material candle like a yearly, and we are coming into our yearly close. So it would be very beneficial for this chart to maintain above it. It would be a change of behavior almost. And you can see even on a quarterly how clean it is, just looking at this area, saying it would be really nice to hold this as support and get that SR. So if it dips to 14, I don't think we should panic by any means, because if it dips this low, we can just take a look at the chart and you can see that's still a higher low. Like we'll go to log for a second here. It's easier to see. And that's the log gold pocket. That's always good to know. But you can see that even if it dipped to here, it's a blip in terms of the trend. So this can come down quite far. It could come all the way to 10 and put in a low and still technically maintain higher lows. It just wouldn't be my desired path, I suppose. I would like to see this have a short retrace, reclaim this box, and then move through $27, which was just an NPOC from the prior range. So when you look at the prior range, you just basically are putting a volume profile in here. And actually the monthly might have been the best way to view that. Like so, all you want to see is when did we break in? When did we lose it? About right here. And I'm going to have to, there we go. And you can see there is your POC essentially. So POC of the range was coming in there. That's where you're getting held up at. And even if you didn't get held up there, $34 is also going to be another one. But to me, living above $20 long term is going to set you up for the success to build here and try to push to these new highs. So if I was in Chainlink, I would be looking for good reactions down below in like that $16 to $14 region, because to me, that would be in line with a higher low. It would also be an area of value instead of buying up here at $20 to $27, especially if your position was down in this region or at like $8 or $10, you're probably not looking to buy 27 again or 22. So that's how I would view Chainlink. There's really nothing to panic about. You're at support. Like if you go to the local time frame here, you can see that you are trying to put in a bounce. I just think that if Bitcoin has a mean reversion back to, it's like 90K area in that monthly pivot, why wouldn't Chainlink do a similar move? So it sounds immaterial, but if I was a trader, getting a position here versus here is the difference between a win and a loss in that instance. If I'm an investor, maybe I don't care as much, but I might just consider it as an option and maybe DCA down into it if that was my move, or just be patient and try to play your cards.
You said Chainlink's at a at a support level, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's put in an order here, my friend.
He's like, that's all I needed to hear.
My dude, Magic. Of course, NFA, right? Not financial advice, but
yeah.
But a little long trade on Chainlink. That's how we roll. Over here being a degenerate. People know my stance on Chainlink. Charts aside, I am so bullish on this project long term. Everything they're doing. How could you not be? Another one I am very bullish on long term. Magic is XLM, Stellar Lumens. This thing. I was eyeing this thing at around 9 cents, and I was like, "How is this thing at 9 cents?" And this is from a fundamental standpoint, right? Not from a chart standpoint, but I'm like, it's the number 2 RWA network. It's leader in payments, right? It's the fastest and the cheapest when you think about finality and fees. I'm like, this thing is a little undervalued, and it shot up to like 64, 65 cents. Is currently trading, and you're looking at it now. I'm just pulling up CoinMarketCap. It is trading. What's the price that it's trading at right now? As I try to 38 cents.
Looks like 38.72.
38.7. So if we have a lot of viewers, we've done a lot of Stellar videos, and those have been some of our best performing videos. So I'm assuming we have a lot of people in here that are fans of Stellar Lumens. What is your thoughts? What is the chart saying as far as where can we find a bottom on XLM, and for the people looking to maybe enter into a position that missed out on the initial rip?
Sure. Again, kind of going back to what we talked about last time, because we did discuss this one. You had the monthly SFP here. That's actually what caught you from your last high right there at 60 cents. So it was a nice level to be aware of. But you are back testing a larger structure, and this is very similar to like XRP, even Chainlink, going out to a yearly chart. These are great charts for me because a lot of altcoins don't have this much information. They don't, and I enjoy it. This thing's been around a while, so you can see here though we had marked off the high from 2017, and you can see that we also marked off the closure from or the open, of 2018. We made a little box here, and we said that realistically we want to see XLM tagging this and holding it as support. Now, it doesn't have to be a good chart still in terms of the medium term, but it would be more than ideal. And the only thing I would bring up in that is that you do have a very, very obvious squeeze taking place here. You've got lower highs by the wicks. You've got higher lows. So this thing potentially could continue to go sideways for a long time. And realistically, what we had talked about was the yearly open was so important. And when you look at it right now, it looks relevant, but it's not because it's so far away. So to me, I am looking at this zone, and I think we actually put the levels on the stream last time, but we'll do it again. 35.76 to 37.36. That is your support zone. And you can see that it's bouncing from it really, really nicely right now. It's trying to put in that bounce, at least for a local one, maybe back to like a local gold pocket, or if you wanted to do something with like volume, you could very easily just pull a range, which you're well outside of the money. So that's kind of surprising to see how far away that is. So you'd want to see this thing get a substantial bounce here. And I would just very easily say if I was trading this one, I would just start looking for my local gold pocket, which is very much so near the value area low of that range. So to me, straight away, if this thing's going to get any kind of a substantial bounce, I think this is the zone I'm looking to and the inflection point that I want to be aware of, because if it clears this, we're back in the range and we can talk about potentially trying to cycle it. If we get rejected here, well, it doesn't mean it's going to make a brand new low. It just means that you might be forming a range below this range and you need to play that locally. Just kind of adjust your strategy and where your range might be at in terms of price. So for now, this is support. If it is lost, Pretty obvious areas to look at are going to, again, be from the high time frames, in my opinion. And the reason is you just don't really have much price action here in terms of history, because this thing is the monthly candle on this is absurd. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that. That is. So realistically, if you find your way back in here and you lose about 26.6 cents, this thing can move to the downside as fast as it moved to the upside. Now, nobody wants to hear that, but you should be aware of it. So, that level just comes directly from this, yearly closure and yearly open. And then I would probably mark the previous year's high if it was me. Just looking at levels, I would just say 2023's high is not really relevant yet, but it could very well become relevant. And actually, we don't need a level. We need a white line. Sorry, I'm doing this while you guys are live.
Oh, this is great, man. That way, those of you watching, by him doing this kind of live on the fly, you get to kind of see the process of how Magic sets up his chart. So I think there's definitely a lot of value there.
Yeah, it's always based on time, guys. I like to keep things as organized as possible, even though my object tree sometimes doesn't reflect it. It's like having kids. I know what's going on. It might not look that way. No, I'm kidding.
Good.
It's just how it is with life.
It's very true.
Yeah, you can do certain things like pull local gold pockets, get out a log scale for it is my recommendation. Mainly because we're trading linearly right now. We're not trading on a macro like, hey, how many X's can this do? We're looking more for a percentage pullback. So that percentage pullback, we want to know what's the linear correlation to the low to the high. In this case, it'd be the gold pocket at 29.27 cents, near that yearly structure that basically is the only structure we have until the 2023 high here. So if we do lose this like 35 to 37 cent region, yeah, it's probably going to take a 10-cent dip down into that 26 to 29 cent area. But that to me could offer up another good trading opportunity. Or if I was just looking for a value area because I believe this will continue to rally, I just think it's going to pull back. That might be the area I'm looking to maybe put some bids in. But until then, you've got bounce coming in. I would just play it as it is. The only thing I'm really curious about is where my weekly ranges and my monthly ranges are, if it's for me in terms of how I'm going to trade. Weekly range, kind of small. Yeah. So again, we talked about this gold pocket and these ranges up here being, if we included extra information, that'd be the value area low. You can see the last 2 weeks of price as well, confirming this, letting you know that you really need to be living above 46 to 48 cents for any kind of a shot at trying to make a new high. So that to me would be the key area to watch for now on a bounce, that's not a bad bounce. What is that, like 9 cents from where you are? That's 25%. If we zoomed out just a little bit further to the monthly, not that, we need month. And for anybody wondering, that is the PVP is the periodic volume profile on TradingView. It's their indicator. I'm just adjusting the periods that we're looking at. I'm so glad they made this because I used to track these by hand and it was a huge pain in the ass. So huge prior month in terms of what you've got going on here. So when you look at where the previous month point of control is in relation to this like local gold pocket and value area low, I mean, you're really talking about an area that this is going to be the area. And we kind of already know that, but we're just further confirming it. And what you need to pay attention to is that when we look over to here, there's nothing between you and what? That 12M we talked about at 26 cents and that gold pocket from the high to the low. So if this area is lost and this bounce does fail, you could be looking to be trading back at the previous month value area low at that gold pocket and at that old, 12-month settle up. So that to me would be the area of interest still. And if Bitcoin's pulling back, my opinion, I think the rest of the market's going to with it. I just think you're at a bounce zone in both Bitcoin and the market. So depending on your trading style, if you're a short-term trader, you're probably looking at this pretty opportunistically. If you're not, you might be waiting for something else, So to me, if I was buying for long term and it was just one of those positions, I'd be more patient. But that's just me. If I was trading, though, I'd be looking to get in now. And just like with Link, you can see that this is where the yearly pivot and the quarterly pivot and the incoming 60-day pivot, they're all generating inside this box. So again, it's going to be support, at least in the medium term, probably.
Charts aside.
That's it.
Charts aside, man. We were having this conversation before you joined us. December, you've been doing this for a while. What are your thoughts on how December is going to play out in terms of volume? price action, as people take vacations, visit family. You got Christmas, New Year's, the whole. I'm going to wait till January 1st to implement my brand new, I'm going to change my life strategy, when you should just implement it right away. What do you expect from the month of December personally from price action in the markets?
If I recall, we had the Christmas pump last cycle in 2021, didn't we? Wasn't it like the week of Christmas that they broke all-time highs? Yeah, it was Monday, the 21st of December. So it had been 21st to 28th was the first weekly candle that broke above. So I think the situation's a little different because that breakout occurred already for Bitcoin. So it could be a very boring time in the market in terms of Bitcoin just because of that. So my take on anything when it comes to Christmas or Thanksgiving, or if the markets are going to be potentially slow, go spend time with family, guys. If you have, you want to put in DCA bids because you were going to do it anyway, set them before. Don't kill yourself looking at the charts. But maybe set an alert above you if things start moving. It never hurts to tune in and remind your family that you were right on Christmas, just like Thanksgiving. But you are at resistance on Bitcoin, so I am expecting some consolidation here. Again, this area of the chart between 101,000 and 124,000, while seems like a really broad target, it is the exact same in percentage that I used for the prior cycle in terms of finding the overall high. I'm not saying this is the overall high because we've reached it in such a fashion that's much quicker in terms of cycle time. So we have to take that into consideration. I'm just not expecting it to get all the way through it on the first go. I think that we could see some pokes into it, but realistically get ready for some pullbacks that are 10 to 20% in some cases out of this region. And that's perfectly fine. Those are opportunities when they arrive. So
yeah, if you're thinking about getting me a Christmas gift, give me money so I can buy Bitcoin if that happens. Magic, we appreciate you joining us as always, my friend. If you want more Magic Internet money, we have his Discord link pinned in the comment section of the live show. Hop in there. A lot of great info. Him and his business partner, Max. Very, very active in Discord. And so, Magic, as always, brother, thank you so much. Great to see you, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Take care.
All right, take care, bro.
All right. Couple things on Bitcoin, then we'll move off of BTC. Russian State Duma Deputy Anton Tkachev. Is that how you say it?
Why are you asking me? Like
you literally were married to a Russian.
Anyway, I know how to speak it.
Urges finance minister of Russia to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So here you go. I ask you, dear Anton Germanovich, to assess the feasibility of creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve in Russia by analogy with state reserves in traditional currencies. So that's happening. You also have Ray Dalio, one of the famed investors. I was looking at his the video he did, changing the New World Order, right? The debt cycles. It's got like 60 million views. Really, really good video. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend you go do it. But he has said, quote, steer away from debt assets like bonds and debt and have some hard money like Bitcoin and gold. Also, you have Goldman Sachs, $3 trillion asset manager, saying it will evaluate participating in Bitcoin or Ethereum markets if regulators permit so. And then on the flip side, Microsoft, what are they doing? Their shareholders voted against their Bitcoin reserve policy.
Here we go. We got a video of them. This is...
Yeah, that's definitely the 80s.
Yeah, that was way back in the day.
Yeah. Well, so what was this video of them celebrating voting?
That was when Steve Ballmer hit the stage and just was like screaming and sweating.
Armpit sweat, just like.
Yeah, and then
Then he bought the Clippers, the worst LA team there is. And then one last thing, Marathon Digital has bought 11,774 Bitcoin for $1.1 billion. Now remember, this is a company that mines Bitcoin. And they said, look, it's not enough. We want more. We're going to go buy $1.1 billion worth, pushing their total holdings to over 40,000 Bitcoin valued at $3.9 billion. Before we move on, I want to give a big thank you to today's channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by Legacy Network and the Legacy Academy app, which has been live. They just crossed 500,000 downloads. So shout out to the team. The LGCT token drop is coming this month. And so we've got the names of the first 10 Almanac orders, and we will be reaching out to you via email you provided and letting you know what to do to receive those LGCT tokens complimentary of the Legacy team. If you haven't downloaded the app, do so. I'll give you a hint. If you're one of those people, you're going to need the app. Also, check out their Telegram. Stay up to date on everything with the LGCT token. You know, if you ever worry that, you know, we always talk about, is retail going to come? People are struggling. And, well, here's what the governor of New York is doing. Let's take a listen here.
In my budget next month, they will send you a check to buy your groceries for a month or whatever you want to spend it on. And if you're an individual earning up to $150,000 a year, it's $300. What does that look like?
What does that look like? 3 $100 bills.
All right. How about that for individuals?
Wow, yeah, let's turn more money, guys.
Now, if you're filing jointly and you have a family, you need a little more, right? Families are expensive.
Yeah, I'm right.
How about this?
Oh, the big reveal. You like all those green signs? that say
$500.
$500.
$500.
You know, so if we're ever
This is like the U.S. politics have turned into like a game show. I mean, you got people. Sometimes it doesn't look like a game show. Show me the money signs. Everyone's clapping. You got big
What was
checks.
that, Price is Right?
You got $300. What's behind curtain number 2? We got $500. All right, we're gonna
keep it, or you want to go for the
turn on the printers. Let's go. Turn on the printers. Let's go.
Go to
You get
number
some
3.
money.
Go
You
to
get
number
some money.
It does
All
look
right.
like a game show.
It does,
So,
man.
if you're
look, they even got groceries they're giving away there in the corner. What, you got some ketchup? You got a bag of
Ragu.
Doritos.
Ragu. Don't
There's
forget the
some
ragu.
Ritz crackers there as well.
You
So
dip them in the ragu.
That's
that's the zonk prize, right? You're
That's
like,
the
all right,
zonk.
you get 300, 500. Nah, you got a basket of
No,
groceries.
that's the one you got to guess the price of.
You know what?
That's the preparation age.
I
Yeah.
bet you, yes. I bet you the basket of groceries is probably worth more than both those checks.
Probably.
I got 5 cans of tuna, some Triscuit crackers, and it cost me $700. God.
Why do I say this? Because, guys, the government cannot help themselves. They will always print money. They will always try to buy you with money. And what do you do with that money? Well, you turn around and you put it into the crypto markets.
It's
and
like if you're married, right, your significant other. Let's take a breadwinner. Let's say the guy's the head of the household, and he can barely make ends meet. He can barely pay for the bills, but yet he's buying his kids PlayStations and electric bicycles, and the kids are happy, but you know what? You're probably not gonna make the mortgage payment. like at some point, you got to think like responsibly. Give them what's the ball in the cup? You remember that thing? Give them some classic toys that don't cost so much.
yeah, those things will keep them busy for hours.
Yeah.
You got to try to get it on the stick, and then on the flip
Yeah,
side,
and
try
you
to get in
also
the
got
cup.
like 2 sticks and marbles. Just give it.
Also, you can play with your fingers.
Yes. And then
You
there's
can thumb war yourself.
hide and seek in the backyard's relatively cheap.
My son got in trouble for playing tag at school. They sent an email to us. Anyway.
Was it like inappropriate tag?
No, they said because when they're running to tag each other, the momentum carries them, and then people can have momentum, and the people can get hurt.
Yeah. Soon, your kids will be in school with seatbelts. It's like riding a roller coaster. The lap belt comes down. You can't get up until the bell rings.
My boy's on fire with the
Like,
confidence
oh,
today. Okay, okay, Rob.
Yeah. No, I just want to remind you that, well, government policy is to print money to get claps and ovations and re-elections, right? And that was a great video that showcases like, hey, I want to look like a hero, so I'm just going to irresponsibly print money that we don't have. And in doing so, we're going to increase our deficit, increase our debt, and also debase the currency that we have. There's no shock that every commodity has gone up in price. It's very simple. Commodities are limited in supply, and well, if you have too much money sloshing around and you keep increasing it, well, it takes more of those money to buy the same limited supply. So that's why Bitcoin's price goes up. That's why gold's price goes up. That's why S&P 500 price goes up. And so you're in the right place. You got the right mindset that you're investing in crypto. So there you go.
Amen to that. All right, let's a couple quick hitters here. Charles Hoskinson announces Bitcoin DeFi a mission critical roadmap item for IOG.
I wish we had a video on this.
Oh, wow. I think we do, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, today, later.
Oh!
Yeah.
There it is.
Cardano fans, it's coming to you later today. Together with Fairgate Labs and other community projects, they want to have a demo ready by the Bitcoin conference in May in Las Vegas. So Charles kind of talked. I saw an exchange on X where they're like, someone said, hey, why don't you just take the Bitcoin OS momentum and run with that? He said, well, to paraphrase, he pretty much is not happy with the token and said, well, this company, this project doesn't have a token. The only token you really need is Bitcoin for the gas fees. There's no need for other tokens. So it sounds like that kind of rubbed him and the team the wrong way. And so it sounds like they're kind of moving away from the Bitcoin OS thing. And he did mention Fairgate Labs is the company behind the consensus or the technology that Bitcoin OS is using. And so they're the original ones. And he's saying, hey, is that true? Rocco? See if that's true with the RLUSD. I'm curious. Also, Filecoin fast finality is almost here. Filecoin is about to get 450 times faster with their F3 near instant transactions, seamless cross-chain integration, and streamlined storage onboarding. Filecoin, Rob, take a look here at Filecoin. Where's Filecoin at price-wise? This thing had a huge run last cycle. It's at $6. Market cap 3.7, fully diluted 12 billion. Lot of the supply is currently not circulating, which is why you see that disparity between the fully diluted and the market cap value. Rob, are you bullish on Filecoin? Is this a dip that either you've bought or you're looking to maybe buy?
No, I haven't. I actually don't have any Filecoin. I know it performed amazing last bull market.
Last bull market. I mean,
but now the tokenomics not so great.
Bro, got up to $200.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't ever, you shouldn't ever bet against infrastructure.
That's a 35x from here.
You should never bet against infrastructure, right? I think that's why Chainlink's done so well. That is why Chainlink's done so well, because they're the go-to Oracle service. They provide data to smart contracts. And, Filecoin, they're the leader in data storage and its integration to blockchains. And their partnerships is a list longer than Santa Claus's naughty list. And so...
Are you on the naughty list?
No, somebody told me a joke yesterday.
What did they tell you? Can't say it?
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah, no. Trying to remember the joke. I don't remember the whole joke.
So obviously it wasn't a good joke.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Never mind. I'm not going to tell that story either. Other piece of news here, real quick. Fade and TradFi said RWeave is much better. I like both RWeave and Filecoin. If you put me in a corner and said pick one, I would go with RWeave. Much better tokenomics. I 100% agree with Fading TradFi, the AO supercomputer leveraging the RWeave, the PermaWeb network, and in turn benefits the AR token. And the tokenomics are just much better on RWeave. So I'm bullish on both, but if I had to pick one, Filecoin, RWeave, I'm going with RWeave. Moving off from that and on to AI. Speaking of AI, guys, we're super excited. We have Alexander Skidnoff, the co-founder of Near Protocol, joining us on the show tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk everything AI. Going to try to pull some alpha out of Alex or Alexander. We'll find out what it goes with tomorrow, Alex or Alexander. Either way, he's going to be on our show tomorrow. We're going to talk to him. You do not want to miss it. If you're a Near Protocol fan, if you're a fan of AI, do not miss tomorrow's show. It's going to be absolutely fire. Speaking of AI, Bitwise predicts that tokens launched by AI agents will spearhead a meme coin mania in 2025, even bigger than what we've seen in 2024. And so you think, okay, well, then what's the platform? I mean, there's the outside of BitGet token, which is a exchange token, right? Outside of that, your top gainer is Virtual Protocol, and this is what they do. Right? They do AI agents, and its highest market cap AI agent, which is AIXBT, which I know a couple of people in our chat got into it. Shout out to Forrest and also to us. We kind of been talking about this. I posted this in our Discord. that AI agent created a meme coin called Chaos. And so that is fitting. I'm not saying what Bitwise is saying is going to be fully true. I'm not like fully committing to what they're saying. But if that thing has legs and they're kind of proven right, you're going to want exposure to virtuals. You're going to want exposure to some of their ecosystem plays. I know Redman talked about this, and we were talking about it with Rocco a couple days ago. But you get airdrops by holding certain of the AI agents in the virtual ecosystem. I've already gotten close to $2,000 in airdrops from tokens that I never bought, but because I was holding these tokens in the virtual ecosystem, I was able to get airdrops into my Coinbase wallet. And so keep an eye on virtuals, guys. I'm telling you, keep an eye on this thing. Even at $1.60, at a $2 billion or $1.58 billion market cap, this thing is a $10 billion plus project if AI continues to grow like we think it's going to continue to grow. Speaking of airdrops, if you've traded any sort of NFTs on Magic Eden, you should be eligible for an airdrop. I claim mine, and to be completely transparent, I turned around and sold it because it's free money. It came out at like 17, 18 bucks. When I sold it, it was around $5. This is what happens, guys. Airdrops, people get free money. They're going to sell, right? Now, if you believe in the project long-term, you want to hold, cool. Just understand the normal, don't look at Hyperliquid and what it did, and the airdrop came out and the thing just freaking rallied. 95% of these, they go down after the airdrop.
All right, so we did have a $5 super chat, and that one was from Poman. It says RLUSD just got approved, and well, this is per Cointelegraph, and so Cointelegraph has just announced that Ripple CEO confirms approval from the NYDFS officials for the RLUSD. He notes exchange partners listings will be live soon, and so this is I think the last step for this thing to go live. We know that the test net has been active, running. Transactions are live, right? At least on the test net. And well, now we got green light. So we now have a new stable coin in the race. So if you are a fan of XRP, if you're a fan of just U.S. progressive regulation, I think that this is one of many to come. I think that RLUSD is going to be an absolute game changer for Ripple, I think crypto in general. I think that the hegemony that Tether has on stable coins is sometimes concerning. And well, you know what? It's also offshore, and we've had some accounting issues or concerns when it came to Tether's reserves or what backs it. And so I'd like to see, first of all, more options, right? And I think that just simply that you had Circle and Tether, I think that Ripple is a perfect partner for stablecoin, and we know that that's also going to bode well for other ecosystems. Cardano is something that we keep talking about over.
You know what? After the show, I'm going to record a video on this news, and I'm going to talk about what that means for XRP and what kind of doors open up now for the XRP ledger. So if you're a fan and you want to know more, that video will drop in the next few hours, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And that'll do it for today's show.
I did want to real quick. I wanted to give a little love. We've had a lot of signups for our Buy DeFi link, and if you guys want to take advantage of the markets being down, want to put in some long trade positions, you think that hey, this might be the bottom, we'll be back up to 100K. Great buying opportunity, and so you get funded when you start an account. You get 15%. What's the promo for
It's 15%.
Yeah, you get an additional 15% when you deposit over $100. And you know what? It helps out the channel. It helps us, pay for ridiculously large, expensive LED walls and things like that. So if you want to support the channel and you also want to learn how to trade or just open up an account, just put in a trade, just experiment. Use our link, Buy DeFi.
The platform is really good, and you don't need a VPN in the U.S.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you've ever tried to trade here in the U.S. and you don't want to go through VPNs, it's damn near impossible. So we're glad we got a partner that lets you trade here locally.
Yeah, these guys are great, man. And so they're unveiling a lot of stuff on their platform, a lot of stuff that I don't think anyone's doing in the trading space. And so we're excited to continue to work with them. And so as Rob mentioned, that link, I put it in the chat, but it's also in the description. And as he mentioned, it supports the channel. You know what I was thinking? Every time I launch our live show, it gives me the option to insert ads on the live show. Just so you guys know, we purposely say no to ads, and we're probably losing out on a few $1,000s in ads that YouTube would put in, but it's because we want your viewing experience to be amazing. So
we put in our own ads. Get the damn link.
excellent segue. With that being said, we are done for today. Big thank you to all of you. If you're new here, come back tomorrow. Again, Near Protocols co-founder Alexander Skidnov will be joining us on the show. Cardano video, RLUSD video will drop later today. Also, a lot of great content coming from this channel. Make sure to stay tuned. With that being said, Rocco, thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. I'm pointing at the wrong camera. Come back tomorrow. It's going to be a great show. Make sure you have a notification bell on here on the channel. We love you guys. Until then, peace.
Sin City, crypto, everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info, gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in, for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David, I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin, it's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners, special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners, ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors, they gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin, and sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.